Hello, good day, guys. My name is Nick, technical analyst with SuperForex. Today, we shall be looking at the technical analysis on the currency pair AUD USD. And first, we'll be talking about fundamentals before we move right down to technicals, which is purely what we're going to be seeing on the chart. Now, all these slides after dovish RABBA minutes, and the Australian dollar has hit a bump in the road and is down 1% this week in the European session. AUD USD is currently trading on 0.6795, down 0.80% on the intraday. Now, the RBA minutes, the rate decision was closed. The Reserve Bank of Australia has a habit of surprising the markets. Now, the RBA's rate hike earlier this month was a shock as the markets had expected rates to remain unchanged, and the minutes of the meeting released today indicated that the decision was finally balanced between a pause and a hike. In support of a pause, members noted that the sharp increases in rates raised the possibility of the economy stalling in the end. However, concerns over persistent inflation won the day as the bank voted to hike rates by 0.25%. Now, the takeaway from the dovish minute is that the RBA was very close to taking a pause and will be opening to holding rates at the July meeting. Depending on the data, especially inflation, the Australian dollar has fallen sharply today as investors have lowered their expectations over future rate hikes. Now, the RBA has backed up hawkish words with action, raising rates to 4.1%, the highest level since 2011, while still inflation has been stickier than expected, and headline inflation jumped in April from 6.3% to 6.8%, while the core rate fell from 6.9% to 6.5%, but that is incompatible with the target of 2%. Now, the RBA has projected that inflation will not fall to 2% until mid-2025, which means more hikes are likely barring a sheer drop of inflation. On how this can affect the market on a technical level, we are seeing that 0.67272 is under pressure and support. Below there is support is also 0.6668 at 0.6836 and 0.6940 at the next resistance line, of course. Now, content is for general information purposes alone, if not investment advice or a solution to buy or sell securities. Options are the authors, not necessarily that of Wanda Business Information and Services or any affiliates, subsidiaries, officers, or directors. Now, what to expect for this on a general level? We are expecting a fall and breakout from the most important support zone currently at 0.67405. So breakout of the zone means we are most likely going to look for another zone at 0.6625, which is about 122 pips from the entry point, of course, which is good money. And that's our technical analysis on today's currency pair, AUD USD. Now let's move over to the stock markets. Hello, welcome back, guys. And on today's stock market, we'll be having a look at Adobe. And headlining, we're seeing that Adobe 20 billion deal to acquire Figma under threat from EU regulators. Now, the European antitrust regulators are preparing to launch a formal investigation into software company giants Adobe and about a 20 billion buyout deal for cloud-based designer platform Figma later this year. The Financial Times has reported this recently, and EU authorities plan to push forward with a detailed investigation over anti-competition concerns, which could take many months and may ultimately derail the deal to get out together. FT said, citing people with knowledge of the move, and this moves underline global regulators' worries that large tech firms acquiring smaller, innovative rivals could throttle the competition. Now, Adobe is in the preliminary phase of the regulatory process and having constructive discussions with British, EU, and US regulators about the deal, while Figma looks forward to continued conversations with regulators. Now, the companies has said in separate emailed statements about this. Now, the report comes that after Britain's competition watchdog said last month that it was looking into Adobe's Figma deal, while, of course, Bloomberg earlier reported in February that the US Justice Department was preparing an antitrust lawsuit to block the deal. Now, EU regulators have earlier said that Adobe would need to secure antitrust approval from the Figma deal, even though the deal falls short of the block's turnover threshold for review. Now, this has been having a significant effect on the market. Probably it's going to have a touch to the latest support zone at 466.01 before a probable retracement back to the upside at 507.99, about 396 pips from that entry point. So first, we are estimating a little fall about 258 pips to 464.86 before a retracement back to the upside at 504.54.11, sorry, which is at about 300 plus pips from that entry point, of course, which is good money. And that's our technical analysis on today's stock market Adobe. I remain your host, Nick. Bye for now.